G'day! Thought I'd make a video about all the tools that I use here on the channel and specifically on my workbench here for tearing things down. So we'll get straight into it. Obviously the first thing is all of these screwdrivers. So these are the Wera Kraftform micro precision screwdrivers. So this here is a tool roll. You can actually roll it up, it closes together, and then it's just packaged really nicely like that in this nylon bag, and on the back here it's got some Velcro as well, so you can end up sticking this to things. Now, these are very similar to the ones I've got in the back here. The back ones there are just the ones that I use the most. But I'll talk about this belt here. So on here, majority of these screwdrivers here are Torx. So this whole set, the green on top is Torx. And then there's a whole bunch of slotted as well. So yellow is slotted, and then red here is Phillips. And then we've got some hex here. I've got some little pry bar here as well. So you can see that one there can just be used for prying things open. And a couple of other specialty ones as well. So I'll put links to all of these tools down below. So I'll put them in the same order as I go through them here as well. So if you are interested in checking any of these out, click those links and you'll get the full information on the tools. So basically the reason why I have these two sets was because I bought some of those other screwdrivers first and then built that set. And then I wanted some more of these specialty ones, and this was actually on special, so I got this whole set, and it's just a really nice sort of secondary set. So that usually just sits on the side of my workbench on here, and if I need a specific one, then I'll go and grab that. But basically talking about these other screwdrivers, so I'll put them here. So these are the same screwdrivers, but come on this really nice rack. So you can buy these racks separately from Wera and make out kind of your custom kit. So my left side here, this is all just slotted, so a whole bunch of different, these long ones, but different thicknesses. And then these ones here on the right side, so just kind of here off screen, these here are then just Phillips, and then a couple of Torx. So just the most commonly used, a large Phillips 0 probably gets used the most, and then just a nice standard slotted. So these guys are really nice. You can't see them on this video, but they do just sit just off of the camera there. So that's where those sit. Now, just to go into a little bit more detail as well, in these Wera micros, they're really, really nice. I absolutely love this gripping surface here. And I think really my favorite part of these is this back free turning spindle here. So you can see that just rotates. So you put that in your palm and then you can screw and put a lot of pressure on that, and that just spins really nice and easily. With these Weras here as well is if you need to screw it really fast, you can hold it down here or up here. And it's got a really nice thinner shaft, so you can just screw a lot quicker. And then when you need a little bit more torque, you can grab it here in the middle because it does come out a little bit further. So that just gives you a little bit more leverage for actually screwing that. So with this as well, as like I said, you can buy them in sets like this. You can buy smaller sets, or you can just buy them individually with these racks. And then these racks as well, you can buy these racks separately. And the good thing with these racks is you can see it's like that. They just stand on a flat surface, and you just take the screwdrivers here off like that, and they clip in really nice, and they hold in very solidly. I've never really had an issue with them falling off, or they do just sit stationary. But then what you can do is you've got these little hooks here sticking out, so they're for wall mounting. So well, you can't see that on camera, but if you want to mount it to a wall, you can do that, and then just use these two to put screws in, and that'll get held in. And then you can see it's got these holes up the top, so that's there for putting some of these bigger screwdrivers in, or you could do the same thing with the small ones and actually just put these smaller ones in there as well. So actually that one won't go because this one here's in the way. So here we go, just to show that. So they're really versatile racks. You could customize it to however you want, mount that to a wall, and then have them all sitting on a wall. That actually looks pretty good. I might even consider doing that. And just a little closer look at all of these screwdrivers. Really, really nice. Can highly recommend these. So I obviously use a lot of them and use them very often in all my videos. So then I do just have a couple of these bigger ones, just a Phillips 2 and then just a bigger slotted. So the green here just dictates that it's the standard range. So this is just Wera general wear screwdrivers, or general use screwdrivers. And they've got these nice big handles, really comfortable to grip. So that's really good. I very much like just having these two standard ones just on the side there as well. When I need them, I can just grab them, and then they've got this nice shaft. If you are interested, I made a whole nother video about just the Wera screwdrivers, so I'll put a link up to that. And if you want to have a better look at the variety of the screwdrivers that Wera makes, they make a whole bunch of different ones. I've got a few of their sets. Check out that video that I made that. So that's good. The other thing to just point out quickly here is as well, it's really good on Wera. They've got this hex on the end so it doesn't actually roll. When you do put it down, it rolls a little bit, obviously it's got that bit of momentum, but then it will settle. Then it will settle and stop rolling. So that's kind of a nice feature that they've got there. All right, and then I might just move over to this one. So this is Wera Kraftform compact set. So this usually comes closed like that. A really nice bag, and I love these little models of what's inside that they put on top. It's just really cool to see. Just get a quick look and you see and know exactly what's in there. So basically, the difference between these two handles is obviously this handle is slightly smaller, as you can see there, because it is that portable version, so it's just a little bit thinner. And then the front just takes any hex bits, so you can put anything in there. It's got this really nice locking mechanism as well that I'll show in a sec. But the big difference here is this is the ESD safe ones. So that yellow in Wera range dictates that it's ESD safe. So what that means, it'll just have a specific resistance through that handle. So any static discharge that builds up in yourself can just get dissipated through that handle and through the proper ESD leads. I don't have that, so these small ones here, Wera does make a whole ESD range. I do have a couple of portable ones, but I really don't use them that often. Not much of the stuff that I work on here needs to really be that protected from any static, so I've never had any issues. I've always just used these guys. Maybe down the track I will upgrade to the ESD ones, but they are considerably more expensive. So if you are working on computers or phones or very sort of small, sensitive, small PCBs really, they can be quite sensitive to static. But a lot of the stuff that I take apart here, it usually has quite bigger components, so it's not so far been an issue. But I did grab an ESD set of these screwdrivers just so I do have an ESD set. And the big thing with these is obviously they've got the whole bunch of different bits here that you can change. So for example, that's a Phillips 2 there. I'll grab a Phillips 2 of this one. Now how this works is you pull this out, you get that really nice click, and then you just push it in and it will self-lock. So I just love that. I'll do that again. It's just so nice. It doesn't take much force at all, but once it's locked there, it's really nice and solid. It does have this little bit of wobble, so you can sort of see that. But even with that, it is actually in there quite securely. It won't come out. You can't just pull it out. You have to push this forwards to actually get that out. So it does get locked in there really strong. The really good thing is you also don't have to unlock this. So even if that is locked, you can just push it in. And yeah, okay, there you go. And it does lock, so it just doesn't make that click. So I just got confused a little bit. So there you go. It makes a little bit of a click, but it does lock in there. So that's just handy. You don't always have to go pulling it out. But either way, this is a really nice set. I just got this as a portable set. So you don't have to carry a lot of these handles around, because obviously the handles are what take up the most room. So when I had a portable toolbox, I had this in there. So now I just have it on the bench, and then you can use this. And it's got a whole bunch of Torx as well. The really good thing I do like is these are actually security Torx as well. So they've got that hole in the middle. There you go. They do have that hole in the middle. So some of the Milwaukee tools, actually not this one specifically, but some of those Torx will have a little dimple inside, so you do need these security ones. And the security ones you can use for normal Torx screwdrivers as well. So if you are getting Torx, try to get these security bits, because then you can use them for two different purposes. Whereas if you just get the normal Torx, such as these ones here, you can see they don't have a hole in there. So if something's got a dimple, then you can't use them. Either way, so I've got these two big screwdrivers here that are just sort of standard size and nice and handy to just get to. And then if I need anything more specific, I resort to this one and have this whole big variety of stuff. So it's got a slotted, and then it's got 3 posi drives, 3 slotted, then you've got 3 hex, and then a whole bunch of 6 different Torx sizes there. So that's a really nice kit. It also works really well. It doesn't take up much room, which I love, and it just sits on the side here as well whenever I need it. Okay, we'll probably move to this other set here. So I don't end up using this all that much, but I got a couple of these sets. So this is really good for my car. This sits in the car, and there's been quite a few times, especially when buying furniture or things like that, secondhand, you go and you need to take something apart. You've got this nice big set of anything you want. There's a whole bunch of slotted Phillips, posi drives, and then a whole bunch of Torx here. And then the nice thing is you've got these longer ones here as well. And then these here as well are hex keys. So that's really nice. And then you also have that full set of these normal hex keys on the side here. And the thing I really like about these hex keys, and a lot of the Wera ones, so I do have this other set, or these other sets here. So this is Torx, and then this is just the normal standard hex keys, but these are long, which is really nice. If you need that extra bit of reach, I can then resort to this. But very similar to that, just a lot longer. And the reason I do bring that up is because of this round head on the bottom. So that comes in really handy because you don't have to be straight on with a screw. So I'll use this to show it. For example, on this side here, you put it in and then you have to be completely straight. There's no wiggle room. So if you're turning it, you got to be straight. And if you are at a bit of an angle, it will wear that, it'll basically strip the threads on that or strip that hex design there. But with this round head, you can easily come in at an angle. So you see that, I'll try to show it and get it to focus. So you can come in at an angle and actually turn it at an angle. I'm not sure what angle that is, but maybe 20 degrees, 30 degrees. And it's not really having any issue doing that. And the most important part is it's not stripping anything as well. It is causing a bit more friction, obviously, with that slight slippage there. So it will heat up if you do use this a lot, but nowhere near enough to actually make a difference when you're just hand unscrewing something. So just as an example, that's really handy there. And then the other good part about this is what I just had is this extra bit here. So you can put that on an impact driver just to extend the bit, and then you can swap out any of these Wera bits as well. You can also just completely bypass that and use any of these bits in an impact driver. So that all works really well. Although if I do need that, I end up resorting to these guys here out in the field. You can just chuck that in, pop it in, and you've got that. So these are not actually rated for impact. So this set is not rated for impact, but some of the stuff that I've done, especially on the channel, I've just used this impact driver, and some of these bits here really just to unscrew it. Hasn't been much actual impacting. But by saying that, this set here, this extended set here in this set is specifically impactor bits. So they are rated for impact driver. So you can use these center ones. They are a little bit darker. It's not sure if it's gonna, yeah, it'll come up on camera actually. It's quite easy to see. So they are a little bit darker because impact stuff is usually black or a dark color, and then non-impact is just that lighter color there. And the thing to mention as well is this handle here is actually very small. So it just about fits in the hand, and I have actually had issues with this just being too small and not being able to get enough torque on it because it is quite thin. So my only complaint with this set here is a bigger handle would be really nice. So for example, something the size of this, it makes a massive difference having that extra grip there just to get a really good grip and get that torque. I do understand why they did that because it is quite small to fit that in here, but there's a lot of these are double up, so there's two of each sizes. So I would have much rather just had less of these, take a set of this out, and then have this handle sit in here a little bit better. So that's my only thing. That's my only thing with that. Just I guess for size comparison, may as well get a proper screwdriver in or the standard one in, just to get a little bit of an idea of the different sizes there. The small one is still completely doable. I've still always managed to do what I needed to with it, but a little bit bigger there would be nice. So that's a nice set there as well. Just these Wera ones kind of on the side. All right, well, impact driver Milwaukee Fuel M18 range. So I've got this. I've used this quite a bit here for taking bigger things apart. So when there's a lot of screws, I'll chuck in some of those bits and actually take it. So really love Milwaukee. I've used them for a long time. Very, very happy with them. So this is sort of my little bench one here. It just sits on the side. All right, then as far as multimeters are concerned, I've got this Fluke 177 True RMS. So absolutely love this thing. Extremely precise. Mostly use it for voltage current, a couple of diodes, a little bit of continuity checking. That's about it. I don't end up using it for too much more, just for some of the low voltage stuff here. So having that precision is really good. Absolutely love the auto range function of these as well. When you put certain voltages on them, you don't have to choose anything. It'll just automatically calibrate, and it works really well. So they're not cheap. Obviously, Fluke is a really good brand with it, but I think it's worth spending the money. Really nice case as well. You've got that nice rubbery, grippy surface on the side, and then that gray is just a standard plastic. And these leads are really nice actually. So if you are doing any precision work, they do close up like this. So you only have that little tip of a contact. But if you do want to have the rest of it exposed, you just flip, you just rotate this, and then that exposes that rest of the prong. So this is really good when you're reaching into certain small bits and pieces on a PCB. You can get in and you don't have to worry about bumping into stuff and potentially shorting anything out. So this is a really good multimeter. I absolutely love this. Just because I've got it here, this is also a Fluke 107. So it's this guy's little brother. I've got this in my field box, so it still does everything I needed to, mostly AC voltage, DC voltage, and then current as well. So really good. This is quite a bit cheaper than this one, but it's not as precise, and has obviously not as many features. So really, I haven't had any issues with it when I use it in the field, mostly as I sort of said, AC, solar, any of that sort of voltage, car batteries. This is just great. So I love the small one. I'll put a link to both of these down below. Depends on what you need it for. If you've got the money to spend, or you're happy to spend that a little bit more, then definitely go for a bigger one. Doesn't have to be the 177. There's a couple of other ones that are in the bigger range as well that'll do the job fantastic. Last you probably a lot longer because it is a bit better quality build. These leads here as well are really nice and soft cable. It's probably going to not show up on camera that much, but you can see the shininess of them, I guess. They're silicon. These ones here are just a PVC, so they're a lot harder and just not as nice. You can also just swap these prongs out. It's not really an issue, but I just thought, because I've just got this on the side, I thought I'd show you that real quick. So then I've got that multimeter. This is just a Milwaukee flashlight. So it's got two modes, high and then low. And then it's also got a little laser out the front, which obviously I don't really need here for the channel, but this is just a flashlight I had. It is nice. It is rechargeable, which comes in really handy just through the port here. Haven't actually recharged it in a long time, so so it is a micro USB. I thought it was USB-C maybe, but it's a micro USB. I've had this for a while. I use it here every now and then, but it holds charge really well. I think, from what I remember, this is actually a rubber coated surface on the top, so you can actually hold this in your mouth if you're working on stuff and you need both hands free. I'm pretty sure that's what Milwaukee advertises. And then you got a nice little belt clip here as well. So, but either way, just a flashlight when I need to show something a little bit better, or see something a bit better. Then these Milwaukee, these Nipex pliers are really nice. So long nose, and it's got that flat, smooth surface on the inside. So if you need to reach into things, twist things around, these come in really handy. Absolutely love these. And then these ones here just have that, I think it's about 45, that's about 45 degree bend. So they can just be really handy when you're trying to reach, I can't show it, but when you trying to reach into stuff. So these guys here are both really good. Absolutely love them. This is just a little pry tool, very little cheap bit of stainless steel, very thin. So that just ends up being really handy for prying in between little things, little gaps in the panel, just to expose it and pry things out a little bit better. This is just a set. I think I bought these in maybe a set of 5, so I've got a few more of these around, but they're just stainless steel tweezers, so really nice. I like these angled ones, probably end up using these the most. Straight ones, and then these ones with the bigger size here can just be handy if you're trying to grab something bigger. So good set there. And then I've got an Alpha 30 degree little utility knife. So absolutely love this thing. This is made out of complete stainless steel, except obviously that little ratcheting mechanism has that plastic to it. The little handle, or the belt clip here is removable, so you can just take that out, and this whole thing also comes out. Actually, what I might do is I might just swap this blade. I've used this blade for quite a while and it's chipped off the front and I've broken it. I do have this interchangeable, these new blades, so you can just put a brand new one in, and that's nice and good. So it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing a lot of work outside with big things and cutting a lot of stuff, you probably do want a traditional bigger blade and a thicker blade, because this can break quite easily. But for what I use it for on the channel here, just with smaller bits and pieces, I really love this. So just for comparison, this is just your sort of traditional size utility knife, and this is this one here. So never had an issue with this being too thin, but I don't really cut up big boxes or anything like that, or cable or stuff that you might use this bigger one for. So this Milwaukee one's also really nice. It's got this blade here, and then you've got spare blades in the handle. So just down there you can store, I think it's 5 or 10. You could probably fit 5 in here. You've got that little gap, lock that up, and that's it. And nice and easy to interchange as well. So that's really all the tools that I've got here that I regularly use on the bench. There we go, just to put that out. That I regularly use on the bench and in this channel. I do have obviously a couple of other random bits and pieces that I'll resort to if I need to, but this is just an overview of this. I did make a couple of other videos about my other tools, so I'll put links to that as well, so definitely check those out. If you did like this, leave a like, it helps out a lot. If you want to see more of this sort of stuff, obviously tool reviews or teardowns of random things, then definitely consider subscribing and checking all those out as they come out. So thanks very much for watching. Have a great day. I'll catch you later.